afternoon, Shamrock fans. My name is Anthony Pasquale here with Hall of Famer Coach Bailey. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing well. Thanks, Anthony.
And before we get into any of the questions, just want to congratulate you once again on the Hall of Fame honors.
Well, thank you for that. And what I always say is coaches don't make the Hall of Fame. Players put coaches in the Hall of Fame. And we've been very, very blessed here over the years with just great kids in our basketball program, both on the court and off the court. So certainly it's a very nice honor, but it cannot be done at all, just like anything at St. Pat's. It can't be done without our students, our great student bodies, and our guys who play for me here.
Did you think as a beginning coach, however many years ago it was, that you would be in the Hall of Fame?
No, I don't think you dream of that. I think you just try to take it day by day and let the chips kind of fall as they may a little bit. Okay, so certainly you always want to have a successful team, but to think that you're ever going to make the St. Patrick Hall of Fame, if you start off coaching here and you think you're going to make the Hall of Fame, then you know what's going to happen? You're never going to have good teams. So I think it's just a day-by-day process, and it certainly is very humbling to make the Hall of Fame here. If you look down at that Wall of Fame with all the people that have made it and the impression that they've made here at St. Pat's and really the city of Chicago, to be included with those guys is really a humbling experience.
So obviously, if you make the Hall of Fame, you're doing something right. So what do you owe your coaching success to?
You know, I think really too, it's just been a group effort from our administration that has really made sure that basketball is important here, that winning is not the most important thing, that we represent our school the right way, represent our community the right way, but certainly with their support. I would say with our parents, we've been very blessed here with great families, with great parental support. The backbone of the program has always been my assistant coaches. Okay, the most important thing I think I do here as the head basketball coach is hire my assistant coaches. They need to be my extension. And what I really try to do is be the dumbest guy in the room whenever I meet with those guys, because that means then I've hired good assistants that are smarter than me and I could learn from. And that certainly has been the case here. And then, like I said, our players, okay, are probably the most important thing. And really our stud section, our student section right here. Those guys over the years have actually won us basketball games with their spirit, with the way they filled up the gym, with the atmosphere in our building. Not only is it intimidating for the other team, but it's very, very supportive for our team. It gives us that little extra boost when we need it coming down the stretch. So really it's not one thing, Anth, it's really, I think, a combination of all those things.
So obviously you're a special coach if you made it to the Hall of Fame. Is there a particular coach or coaches that you try to coach like?
You know, I try to pick and choose from a lot of different guys, okay? And really people that, these names probably don't mean a lot to people here, but maybe some of the old timers they do, but people like Jim Harrington, who was that Hall of Fame coach at Elgin High School, Bill Gleason, who was a Hall of Fame coach at Loyola Academy. Doug Bruno has certainly been a major influence upon myself. He's the head women's coach at DePaul University. You know, you start naming names and you miss guys, okay? So I always kind of hate to do it. But off the top of my head, those three guys have probably been some of the biggest influences in my coaching career.
So if you take those three coaches or any of the other coaches that you say, you form yourself a coaching style, how would you describe your coaching style?
Well, we're going to be competitive. We certainly want our kids. I think over the years, this has been true. We get tough, hard-nosed kids that play in our basketball program, kids that are team-oriented, kids that love St. Patrick High School. Okay? They come here just not to play basketball for sure. They come here for the great education, the great environment that we have in our school. Every kid's coming here just to play basketball, and he's coming here for the wrong reasons. So I think it's been just the idea of the type of kid that we've been able to kind of bring in here has been really, really important.
In all the time that you've spent coaching, is there a particular moment that stands out to you?
You know, I think it would, I don't know if there's any one particular moment, because there's been so many big games in that gym, okay, and so many great moments, but I think it's always been the relationship our team has had with our student section, okay? We really feel our stud section is part of our basketball team, and that our basketball team is a large part of what happens in our school right here. And I think it's that, the best moments I can remember is just the gym rocking and rolling. Before the game even started, we'd be downstairs in the cafeteria stretching and loosening up, and the gym would, you could hear it. The gym is absolutely up for grabs before the games even started. Those are really kind of the memories that I kind of remember and really cherish. And then really the other memories are when our players come back, our past players come back. For example, on Hall of Fame night, so many of our past players were here, and just talking with those guys and laughing, and those guys remember everything. They remember everything I said, what I was wearing, where I was standing, and just to talk to those guys and laugh about some of the memories of the past and the great moments. I think those are the two things, the relationship with our players, and then obviously the relationship our programs have with our stud section.
So like you said, the players kind of remember everything. I remember one game last year, and I'm pretty sure it only happened one time. You sat down.
Okay.
What do you think it is about the way you coach that doesn't allow you to sit down?
Well, I just think that a lot of times, we say this all the time, enthusiasm is contagious, energy is contagious, and I think if our players see that I'm into the game without losing control, but that I'm into the game, and there's been a few times I've probably lost some control over there, but that I'm with them. I've got their back. They've got my back, and I've got their back. And certainly there's been a lot of successful coaches. Coach Curlin, for example, one of the all-time great coaches in state history. I think he was more a guy that just kind of sat on his back on the bench right there and was maybe a little bit more low-key. But I think you have to coach to your personality. I think you have to teach to your personality if you're going to be a teacher. And that's just kind of my personality.
And if any of you sitting at home don't know, Coach Curlin is who the new basketball court is named after. It's Curlin Court. Now, Coach, if you don't mind me asking, how many years have you coached here?
This is my 22nd year here, and I think it's close to 35, 36 years maybe total.
All right, so 22 years here at this place. What is it about this place that makes you keep coming back?
You know what I say? It's family. It really is. Sometimes people say that, but I think if you really get into this place, if you really kind of come in with an open mind, you really want to get involved, you don't have a chip on your shoulder, this becomes family for you. Sometimes you walk in and it's family already, but it'll become family for you. There's not a day I come to work where I think I'm coming to work. Okay, there's always something new, something different, something exciting going on in the hallways and the classrooms of our school. Our faculty is just, they're not co-workers. I'd say a large majority, not all of them, are my friends. Okay, people that I just kind of like to hang out with a little bit. And certainly just walking the hallways and talking to students, forget about basketball players, talking to students, those are the things that kind of keep you coming back. I've been at a few different high schools before this. There was no high school like St. Patrick High School.
And so you just went through the tryout process, got your 3 teams set. Is there a particular criteria you use to evaluate a Shamrock player?
Yeah, you got to be a good player, or you have to be potentially a good player, especially if you're on the lower levels. We'll look for some kids that maybe are a little awkward maybe, but they're tall. And if they keep getting in the gym and keep working and growing to their bodies, they certainly have a chance to be players. So we look at skill level, we look at talent, we look at potential, but we also look at can you fit into the environment of a team? What type of kid are you around school? Not that all our basketball players are angels by any means, okay? But if you're going to be a guy that's going to be in constant trouble around school, you're not going to be representing our basketball program the way we want to represent it. Same thing with grades. Certainly not that all of our guys are A students by any means. But if you're going to be a guy that, we don't know is going to be eligible from week to week, I would rather take a player not as talented, okay, and keep that player because I know that we can work with that type of kid. So there's a lot more that goes into it besides just basketball ability.
So obviously last year, one of your best seasons coaching, bucket away from going downstate. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference between last year's sectional winning team to this year's team?
Well, just experience factor early. I think if we could get past the growing pains early, okay, we play a daunting schedule again. There's no easy games on our schedule ever, and this year's probably one of our tougher schedules. But I think if our team steps up and meets the challenge, and I think they will compete and meet the challenge, I think by January, February, we can be really good. Mm-hmm. So again, it's going to be just kind of like, hey, listen, our goal is to be really good next Monday. Okay, we open play. Okay, in our Thanksgiving tournament. But I think we can really be a good basketball team by January and February.
So you just kind of started talking about the schedule. Is there a particular game on the schedule that you're looking forward to?
Our conference is just up. I mean, it's just one of the best conferences in the state. Everybody focuses. Obviously, Notre Dame is a great rivalry game here. It's one of the best rivalries really in the state of Illinois. But what we try to do is not focus in on just one game. It's just take it game by game, step by step. It's the process of going through each practice, each day, each week, and seeing if we can get a little bit better in each day. And then if we do that every day, we get a little bit better. it's going to culminate with a really good basketball team by the end of the year.
So what's in store for the Shamrocks this season?
I mean, again, I hope everybody kind of comes out. You know, our crowds have gotten really, we had a little slack maybe a few years ago with our crowds. Our crowds are growing again. I think it's a great pick-me-up in our school with a lot of great school spirit. It's just not in the gym, but in the hallways of our school when our basketball team is doing well. Okay, I think everybody just feels a little bit better. So I think we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to the challenge of having a little bit of a younger team, but certainly a team that's anchored very, very well by our three seniors, Sean Eck, Henry Gouchwan, and Dewey Paganini. Very proud of those guys for the way they've grown up, matured over the years here at St. Pat's, and really looking forward to leading our basketball team this year.
All right, Coach, congratulations again on the Hall of Fame honor. Thank you all at home for tuning in, and thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, guys.
Go Shamrocks.